News Talk 820 WBAP now on FM at 93.3. Make it a preset, y'all. 800-288-WBAP is our number. 800-288-9227. Well, we heard the President's State of the Union, but it was just like a State of the Union address, his Oval Office speech. It did not explain why the president is resigning at the end of his term. No explanation whatsoever. In fact, we can go to the couple of different presidents who resigned. We can go with the LBJ resignation speech and the ending of the presidency for Ronald Reagan, his speech as well, back to back with Joe Biden's speech yesterday. Peace, 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 boom, 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 and see the difference.
With American sons in the field far away, with America's future under challenge right here at home, with our hopes and the world's hopes for peace and the balance every day, I do not believe that I should devote an hour or a day of my time to any personal partisan causes.
And in all of that time, I won a nickname, the Great Communicator. But I never thought it was my style or the words I used that made a difference. It was the content. I wasn't a great communicator, but I communicated great things. And they didn't spring full bloom from my brow. They came from the heart of a great nation, from our experience, our wisdom, and our belief in the principles that have guided us for 2 centuries.
When you elected me to this office, I promised to always level with you, to tell you the truth. And the truth, the sacred cause of this country, is larger than any one of us. And those of us who cherish that cause cherish it so much. The cause of American democracy itself must unite to protect it.
Cherish that cause. American democracy itself. Okay, thank you, sir, or whatever you said. Trump said today. Stop making me laugh, coworkers. I can't help it. This is the leader of the free world. Do you know, as he was giving that speech, right around the same time, China and Russia did a first ever joint Air Force exercise 200 miles off the coast of Alaska. That's never happened before in our history. Do you know that Russia is about to dock a warship? I believe it might be a carrier in Cuba shortly. All under Joe Biden's unwatchful eye, his senile eye. The Wall Street Journal is saying today, Americans... Here's what he said, actually. He said, Joe Biden said the defense of democracy at stake, which is at stake, is more important than any title. He said, the Journal says, without saying why he could no longer do the defending. We don't know why he can't defend democracy anymore, even though it's at stake. Why is he leaving? Journal says he could have reassured Americans that he's still capable of doing the job for another 6 months, while warning adversaries not to take advantage of this, of his remaining lame duck period in office. Americans were left instead to infer the reasons why Joe Biden resigned. Which is the question I have for you right now. The question, as Dwayne would say. Why do you think President Biden dropped out of the race? Especially after last night, he gave a speech. He explained everything, didn't he? So why do you think President Biden has dropped out of the race? And I would love to hear if things were cleared up for you. After the speech last night, they were supposed to be. They weren't. We have no idea. And then today, the KJP was asked about this. Hey, who's in charge?
Are you getting a sense yet, based on everything that's been going on, that some of America's enemies might be looking at what's happening here and think there's nobody in charge?
So let me just say this. There is very much someone in charge. The president is the president until the end of his term. So that statement is certainly false. And we have seen the president bring together our allies and partners.
All right, I've got from the National Review and the Politico also saying, just pounding Biden for not saying what the heck why he's resigning or anything last night. But I want to ask you two things. By the way, also Obama is planning to endorse Kathleen Kamala in the next couple days. And Mrs. Hussein Obama is also, Mr. and Mrs. Hussein Obama are about to endorse her publicly. And he's behind the scenes working it all. I'll give you details on that in a minute from NBC News today. So why do you think President Biden dropped out of the race? And why do you think Obama will endorse the Kathleen Kamala? 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Why is it Biden, why did he drop out, and why do you think Obama's going to endorse Kamala? 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. That's 800-288-9227. Chime in right now. Line's wide open right now. Get in on that action, y'all. In the playbook today, in the Politico, in their playbook section, in other words, because they write Biden's swan song, and here's a quick highlight from the column. In other words, Biden did not concede, emboldened, any of the arguments Democrat leaders made to push him out of the race. He didn't concede any of it last night. Every one of them was screaming, "We can't have him, we can't have him, we're all going to lose, down ballot, down ballot." And then what happened? Suddenly, he drops out. Suddenly he has a change of heart when he goes to bed Saturday night and when he wakes up Sunday morning, he has a change of heart magically. He never tells us why. He just says he's resigning. He's handing off the baton to the cackler. The Politico writing, it also suggests he never came around to those views about the bad polls and only stepped aside because in the face of party revolt, he had to. Well, that's the coup by the Democrat leaders, Obama, Pelosi, Schiff, et al. The National Review, you want to know how dangerous things are right now? As far as, you just heard KJP and what's his name, Ducey, go back and forth on who's controlling the country, who's running the country right now. Look at this. National Review writing this today, 9 days ago. The Iranian-backed Islamic resistance in Iraq launched 2 drone attacks on U.S. forces stationed at Iraq's Ain al-Assad airbase. No one was hurt, thankfully. But then there's the Red Sea. Quote, the U.S.-led campaign against the Houthi rebels overshadowed by the Israeli-Hamas war in Gaza Strip. Remember, the Houthis are funded, trained, and armed by Iran, the largest state sponsor of terrorism in the world. The Houthi rebels in the Red Sea, the U.S.-led campaign against the Houthis overshadowed the Israeli-Hamas war in the Gaza Strip, has turned into the most intense running sea battle the Navy has ever faced since World War II. Our Navy's at war in the most egregious war since World War II. Its leaders and experts told this to the Associated Press. The Navy's leaders said that to the Associated Press. We're in the most intense war right now with the Houthis than we've ever been since World War II. You hear this? That was in the Associated Press, printed by the leftists. Good thing we're not at war because we are, says the National Review. It would look like we're losing, or at least floundering. Oh, I got more on this, about how bad this is with war. We are at war. We are at war right now. And Joe Biden says, I never had a war. Hey, nobody died on my watch. Yeah, the 13 you killed when you abandoned Afghanistan, including Bagram Air Force Base, that $1 billion state-of-the-art base where we had thousands of Al-Qaeda and ISIS fighters whom you released overnight, turning the lights off and abandoning that base, which Trump was going to keep with 2,500 soldiers so he could kill every ISIS and Al-Qaeda member there and operate and go into Iran, Iraq, Israel, wherever we need to go to protect our interests. Gone. And guess who we freed? The terrorists that blew up 3 days later, the 13 soldiers. Joe and Kamala. Only 13? And dozens of soldiers missing their arms and legs. That's all? All right, I got more. I'll share with you next. Plus, more audio that I have on the cackler and how radical she is, and more info on the NBC News report from Obama endorsing, there's some details on it I haven't shared with you yet, endorsing the cackler and his wife. So she's not running, guys. I told you that. Get used to it. It is what it is. Chime in right now. Why do you think Biden dropped out of the race, since you didn't tell us last night? And why do you think Obama will end up endorsing Kamala? I'll tell you that, my answer to that, too. Coming up next, Chris Crock Show, News Talk 820 WBAP. Now on FM at 93.3. Lines wide open. Chime in right now. 800-288-WBAP. 800-288-9227.
So Ukraine is a country in Europe. It exists next to another country called Russia. Russia is a bigger country. Russia is a powerful country. Russia decided to invade a smaller country called Ukraine. So basically that's wrong.
She's worked with him. She's been, to my understanding, with him daily, or at least a couple of days a week. Why hasn't this been brought to her attention if she's willing to hide that type of information once she's in office? Now what's she willing to hide for herself? Why are you now being okay with exposing Biden's health concerns? Is it because it benefits you?
Knowing the things that they've been hiding in plain sight from the American public, I cannot find it in myself to vote for a Democrat.
Those are two swing voters in the state of Wisconsin on MSNBC, of all places, being asked. And they're like, they hit it. The Democrats and Joe Biden hit it. Those are swing voters. Those are who Joe Biden and Kamala Harris need. Actually, they were blaming Kamala for covering up, too, because, I mean, she meets with him weekly, has lunch with him weekly for 3.5 years, and said he's, like, as a couple weeks ago, she's like, the man's spry. He's in incredible shape. Nobody can keep up with him. He's awesome. The questions I'm asking you are two. Why do you think Biden dropped out of the race? Since he was supposed to have some clarity last night, he didn't. He didn't tell us anything, according to the Politico, the National Review, and the Wall Street Journal today. And why do you think former President Hussein Obama and Mrs. Hussein Obama will endorse Kamala? Why? Obama privately has supported Harris, says the NBC News today, that he plans to endorse her soon. Quote, he's been in regular contact with her, thinks she's been off to a great start. Obama and Harris have discussed arranging for the two of them to appear together on a campaign trail. Mrs. Michelle Hussein Obama also supports Harris's candidacy, two people familiar with the matter said. Obama and Harris have known each other for years, NBC says, and this is exactly why Obama endorsed her. He's been promoting her and supporting her for 12 years. No, 14 years. So, I mean, it would be ridiculous if he didn't. This is who he wants. Obama and Harris have known each other for years. NBC says she was an early supporter of his 2008 campaign and was given a speaking role at his 2012 nominating convention. Obama campaigned for Harris when she was running for Attorney General in California. You hear that? Before she was ever a senator on the national map, she was on his map. He campaigned for her when she was running for AG in California and supported her when she ran for the Senate in 2016. You see, this is exactly who he wants to carry out the continuance of his legacy to make it even more radical liberal. As you know, she wants to make being illegal, she wants to make illegals legal. She doesn't want to charge them with any crime. She wants to give them free health care. She wants to do gun buyback and take away our guns. She supports free health care for everybody and taking away our choice on our health care with our employers or whatever we want to do on our own. And she supported BLM and gave all this money to them, resulting in 3 of them being released. One would rape after that on bail, and 2 would kill. And she said that it's a movement. It's going to continue before the election, and then after the election, she was saying in regards to St. George Floyd, blessed be his name, dying. All right. By the way, a little bit more. Then we're going to get to Hal in Dallas. Actually, let's go to Hal in Dallas first. Hal, and we've got 2 lines open at 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. Why do you think Biden dropped out of the race, and why do you think Obama will endorse Kamala? Because we don't know why Biden dropped out of the race. He didn't tell us last night. Hal in Dallas, WBAP, hello.
Hello there. How are you?
Good, sir. How are you?
Thanks for taking my call. Hey, honestly, I really think that is that the question that really should be asked? I think it's obvious why Obama pretty much dropped out of the race. I'm not Obama, but Biden jumps out of the race because.
Why? Tell me why.
obviously, I believe he is getting old, and I do believe that it's time for a new generation to really take over. And I really think he may have gotten some pressure on the other side with his party there, but I think the main reason is that he's trying to protect democracy.
So because he's old, you said, okay. So what does that mean because he is old or getting old or whatever it was? What does that mean? Does it mean he has moments where he doesn't know what's going on, forgets basic facts, as Democrats have said, like ad infinitum for like 2 weeks straight to get him out? Is that what you mean?
Sir, I know you feel like you have to build your case, but you know what getting old is.
What is it? Actually, no, I don't. See, that's what I'm saying. I still don't know why Biden resigned. I believe it's because he had covered up for 3.5 years, more than that he was becoming mentally infirmed, senile, or with either a mild stroke or Parkinson's or Alzheimer's. And that's what the Democrats covered up for 3.5 plus years. And so do we deserve to know why he's resigning? After he said 2 days earlier, one second. After he said like 4 days earlier, or 5 days earlier, he's definitely running, he's in it to win it, and then suddenly just changed overnight. Do we deserve to know why?
You're trying to see. You're not going to let me talk anyway.
Yeah, no, I am. You're talking right now.
If we are going to build unity in our nation, in our country, if we're going to do this, it's not going to be by name calling. It's not going to be by negativity.
That's what Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have been doing, saying that I'm a threat to democracy because I vote for Trump. And Kamala
has Donald Trump done that?
No, hold on a second, brother. How is a man and his vice president who have said that 70 million or more Americans who voted for Trump are a threat to democracy, MAGA, ultra MAGA, threat to democracy? How is he bringing us together when he says that? That's crazy.
Why do you see the faults of one side, but you don't see the faults of the other? Is that your case?
Well, I don't hear you saying that Joe Biden was forced out by your party because of senility. You said because he's old. Well, what you're trying to say is you're trying to dance around this. Age is never a problem. He was going to do it till 86. So you're dodging the issue like Joe did, and like Kamala did. You're covering up like Joe and Kamala did. You still won't answer that question about old doesn't mean anything. Trump's 3 years younger, and he does golf game, and he does a 220-yard drive.
Yeah, why do you see the faults of one party without...
Why do you see the faults of one party, sir? You've not said anything about Joe Biden. What can you tell me about why Joe Biden resigned other than he's getting old?
When January the 6th happened, you didn't say anything negative. You didn't say anything negative about it.
Yes, I did. What's my name? What's my name?
Come on now.
What's my name? What's my name? Do you even know my name? I'm asking you.
My point
what is my name? Okay, listen. I don't think this guy knows who I am, and he's telling me what I said on January 6th. Can you just tell me what my name is?
Calling each other's names.
Hello, sir. I'm going to ask you, just trying to be real nice to you, okay? Can you tell me what my name is to see if you even listen to me? Because you told me I never said anything bad about January 6th. What's my name?
Into your station.
Okay, he doesn't. Okay, what's my name, sir?
And the reason why
what's my name? Sir, he just wants to talk over me. Am I being rude? Okay. Sir, you got one last chance. What is my name? Because you don't even know me, and you're telling me what I said about January 6th. I've been on this station for almost 14 plus years. What is my name?
It's irrelevant.
That's it. You don't know who the heck I am, and you're telling me what I said about January 6th, and you're talking about coming together in unity when you call people like me a threat to democracy. And you call our candidate that we've put in office a threat to run against your candidate, a threat to democracy. Sir, you're being intellectually dishonest, and you're covering for Biden like Kamala did for 3.5 years. Thank you for your call, though, and I appreciate it. I just wish you could have a two-way conversation. 800-288-WBAP, one line open, 800-288-9227. Clearly, he's not open for looking at Trump or the Republican side. He's in for Kamala, and he wants to make illegals Illegal's legal. He wants to give them free health care. He wants to take away our guns. He wants to take away the ability to eat meat, take away our plastic straws. He wants to ban fossil fuel. He wants to have no fossil fuels in a country in 2030, as Kamala does. He wants to ban offshore drilling. He wants to ban fracking. And that's what he wants, because he won't criticize his own party. But I appreciate your call, sir. Thank you. 800-288-WBAP. Chris Crock Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM 933. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Biden said we are no wars, no nothing. Well, the National Review saying, yes, we are. In fact, the Navy just said the other day to the Associated Press, we have the most intense running sea battle the Navy has faced since World War II. Leaders and experts in the Navy told the Associated Press because of the Houthis. Just this month, Houthi terrorists sank one ship, the AP wrote, and set another ablaze. The fighters operating on land and in the water have launched swarms of drones at U.S. warships, deployed a remote control boat packed with explosives, tactics, and weapons that experts say are associated with the group's patron, Iran. The recent uptick in the Houthi activity has underscored the group's ability to pose a sustained threat, relying in part on the steady flow of Iranian arms and expertise, both to withstand the U.S. strikes and remain on the attack. The faltering U.S. efforts to halt the Houthis. Remember, the Houthis are Yemen. Freaking Yemen, a fifth world country, not even a third world country. They live in a freaking desert, and there's nothing going on there. They're lucky if they have plumbing and electricity, and we're having to battle with them mano a mano, and it's hard for us to even do it. The faltering efforts of the U.S. to halt the Houthi operations and protect global shipping have also drawn scrutiny from Congress, where lawmakers say not enough is being done to establish deterrence. 5 days ago, the Houthis launched a drone strike against a U.S. Embassy branch office in Tel Aviv, Israel, killing one civilian and wounding 5 more. Who's winning? We're not. Would this happen with Trump? Absolutely not. The Houthis would be gone. First of all, Biden took them off the terror watch list, like Trump had them on. The first, Biden right away took them off, kisses their rumps, and then he put them back on a fake terror watch list. It's not the same one Trump had them on. It's a joke. This man's a joke. He killed 13 of our soldiers. He tells us that nobody died under his watch. Last night he gives a speech about why he's resigning. Nothing. He said nothing. He said he got to do it for democracy. Great. Why do you think Biden dropped out of the race, since he won't tell us? And why do you think former President Hussein Obama will endorse Kamala, according to NBC News? 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Wall-to-wall calls. Let's get right to them. Let's go to... Okay, let's go to... Let's see. Hold on. My screen's messed up today. Here we go. Ken in Arlington. Ken, you're on WBAP. Hello.
Hey, Chris, I don't think you're seeing the big picture. They're going to get her in office. She's going to do everything they tell her to do, just like Biden did.
Yes, that's exactly what this is. It is a fourth term of former President Hussein Obama. It's the continuing of his role to be a socialist, leftist nation. Absolutely. Right. Worshipping transgender, all that LGBTQIA plus, worshipping the DEI cult, and making our military weak with men in, the emphasis being men with skirts on and pumps, being in charge, tanks with batteries that are towing a battery behind in a theater while you're blowing up the entire country, destroying its environment. Yes.
Yeah. And your name is Chris Crock.
Exactly. You must have listened to me on January 6th, January 7th, January 8th, and up till now.
You need to play that song from Destiny's Child. Say my name, say my name.
That's exactly right, my friend. Thank you. Let's go next to John in Grapevine, as my GPS says, Grapevine. You are on, welcome, I should say, to WBAP. Hello.
You asked a question. Why did he not say last night the real reason that he resigned? Mm-hmm. He resigned. Obama did not resign. What he agreed to was in exchange for him not running for the presidency beginning in 2025. Mm-hmm. He would vacate the office and let Kamala step in and become the candidate, and in return, they would not use the 25th Amendment to remove him.
That's exactly right. That was reported yesterday by the New York Post that indeed the Pelosi and other top Democrats told him, we will invoke the 25th Amendment against your butt unless you get out. We will do that. And the cackler was coronated already. The cackling Kamala was coronated as the president by them. Right. They installed her in a coup, and they said, you're going to be thrown out of office in a soft coup, if you don't get out. And that's what he did. And then today he won't say it.
Well, the other part of it is that Obama will continue to give the instructions on what he wants done, because Obama is secretly de facto running this government.
He is, but he doesn't have to do all the work. But he gets to run the country and direct. The same people running, what's his name? The same people running Biden's campaign and doing all of Biden's political advertising are the same people running Kamala's. They're not in charge. Kamala and Joe are not in charge, but they get their butts kissed. They get to act like they're important and give speeches that's written by a script by Obama sycophants, but they are not in charge. It's the same people. The question is, who is running this country? It ain't Kamala and it ain't Biden. Let's go to Josh in Prosper. Josh, what do you got? WBAP.
Hey, appreciate the call. We all know why Biden is not running. He was forced out. He was bitter about it. They gave him this time off by, saying, oh, he has COVID, so he could chill out, because we all know he's an angry, vengeful person. So they've removed him from the spotlight to force him out, and with this threat of the 25th Amendment, and they're keeping him out so he can calm down. He never admitted why he was forced out, why he's stepping down, because he's pissed about it. He hates Kamala Harris. He hates Obama.
Yes.
But there's nothing he can do about it. He's this old, senile, decrepit old man. Unfortunately, that's dying. We don't wish that on him. But
right. He felt disrespected in the 8 years of Obama, because Obama would give him menial tasks, and he was constantly not belittled by saying things, but by actions. And the day that Obama's eighth year ended, Joe was they refused to allow him to be the president. They snubbed him. Obama, who's in charge of this country still right now, he was the one that made Hillary the lozenge lizard. I need a lozenge. He was the one that made the lozenge lizard Hillary, coronated her as president, and then he coronated Joe as president, even though he didn't want him to, because he knew he was starting to fall apart mentally. And then he now coronates the new one, who's even more of a leftist. I mean, she's insane leftist. She was in 2019 GovTrack rated her as the most liberal senator in the entire United States Senate. She's left of Bernie freaking Sanders, who is a socialist, declared socialist on the ticket. She then, the next year in 2020, was the second most liberal senator, just beaten by Bernie, but she beat him the year before. This is who this woman is. And this is who the country could get snookered into electing her. But Trump did wisely say at a rally yesterday, he's starting to do it, but he's not as disciplined as he needs to be, and he never is. And that'll literally cost him the election if he doesn't do this. I will scream about it for the next 4 months if he doesn't do that. I have no problem criticizing our side when they're wrong. They mess up. But he did say she is a liberal. The San Francisco liberal is exactly what works. It's exactly what we need to label as, because that's exactly what she is. She still is. She always was, and she always will be. Coming up next, I want to talk to you more about this. I want to talk to you about, why do you think Biden dropped out of the race? Why do you think Obama will endorse Kamala? The Trump campaign advisor, who's apparently a genius, he was the one who did the Swift Boats Veterans for Kerry that knocked him out of the race. Chris LaCivita says yesterday he knows who the VP pick is for Kamala. I'll tell you what he's claiming it is. All that coming up next on the Chris Crock Show on News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. 2 lines open. All right, we finally have 2 lines open. Oh, 3 now. 3. 800-288-WBAP is our number. 800-288-9227. Aaron, you're first. Michael, you're second.
You're very different in the policies that you've supported in the past. You're considered the most liberal United States senator.
Somebody said that, and it actually was Mike Pence on the debate stage. But
yeah, well, actually, the nonpartisan GovTrack has rated you as the most liberal senator. You supported the Green New Deal. You supported Medicare for all.
Wait, hold on.
Somebody said that, and it actually was Mike Pence on the debate stage. But
yeah.
That's funny. That's so funny.
Said that, and it actually was Mike Pence on the debate stage. But
yeah. Well, actually,
it sounds like a yapping dog. The laugh is like a yapping dog in a kennel, right? Like you go to the kennel, like my dog and I just took my dog to get her annual, shots, checkup or whatever. And, a little yapping dog, they have a kennel in the back, That poor woman has the worst laugh in the world. It must be concealed. She should take some kind of medication to stop her from laughing when she does public things. It's just horrifying. I can't see how any supporter would even like that laugh. It's horrible. It's like Elaine's laugh in Seinfeld. Okay, 800-288-WBAP is our number. We got 3 lines open. 800-288-WBAP. Why do you think Biden dropped out of the race? Why do you think Obama will endorse the cackler, Kamala? All right, who's first here? We got Michael in Dallas. Hello, WBAP.
Hello. The reason Biden resigned or is going to resign is you have to remember Deep Throat from Watergate. All the money. The money is drying up.
That's exactly right.
Because he tanked the debate, and he's going to get out because the donors dried up.
I forgot to, I'm so grateful for you because sometimes you guys bring up the best things that I forget or I don't know. But in this case, I totally forgot to mention that. That's absolutely critical because his debate, it literally dried up to almost nothing. It was half of what it was. Then it went to almost nothing in June. And none of the mega donors, none of the rich Democrats they are in control of who the presidential nominee is. They picked George Clooney. Billionaires picked her. She didn't get a vote. She's never gotten one vote for president ever. She didn't get one vote in the primaries. She got 0.0 in the heavily black state of South Carolina. They did not. They rejected her. They instead chose an old white guy. It's very weird because James Clyburn told them to. He was installed. She was installed. You're done right. Okay, and it was because of the money. That's one thing. Yeah.
So it dried up and they were going to get killed down ballot. So. Yes. He can't say why he wants to get out. He can't say he's got cognition issues, or they'll talk about the competency and cognition cover-up. And he can't say he thinks he's unelectable now because they'll say that's undemocratic. So he doesn't say anything. He's getting out for the money, and she's getting the spot for the money because if she doesn't stay on the ticket, then all the $90 million that's in the bank doesn't get to go.
That's it. Let me ask you one more. That's exactly right.
Money on both ends.
That's exactly.
So we just talked about the San Francisco liberal who was the chairwoman of the competency cover-up.
Nancy Pelosi. The other thing that you were getting at on that was there was one other thing you were getting at that was really, really good. But it's the money and it's the power. But the other thing is that it was his, as you said, his senility. The man is either Alzheimer's, stroke, or dementia, or both, or something of that nature. And that's a cover-up too. The reason why he's out is a cover-up, and the reason why, both reasons why, money and, three, money, polling, and mental acuity.
Competency.
That's it. Great call, Michael. Fantastic call. Appreciate it. Please do it again, okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Aaron, Fort Worth. Thanks for listening to WBAP.
Okay, so I definitely believe that Biden was forced out, but what's funny about this is that back in 2020, when Biden won, and of course he had Kamala as his running mate, I mentioned to my wife that Biden is not going to last. I thought that they were going to that he was going to be replaced with Kamala using the 25th Amendment.
Yes,
but the thing is that Democrats they play chess while Republicans play.
That's right.
checkers.
That's exactly right.
And the thing is, a lot of times these things are in motion before we even see it.
Yes.
And so the thing is, I truly believe that what we're seeing right now was put in motion all the way back in 2020. The ultimate goal was to get Kamala in office. And the thing is that if you look at it, she did not get the votes. But the thing is that now they're circumventing the process to be able to get her in. And so all these people who otherwise would not have voted for her because, you are a Democrat, and a lot of times, you don't look at the actual issues or what the person's platform is. They're Democrats, so I'm just going to vote for them. And so at this point, a lot of the people who otherwise wouldn't even vote for Kamala, they are going to vote for Kamala. And so the thing is, I think that Republicans have to stop being so reactive and be more active.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of constantly getting punched. And I don't know what it's going to take. I don't know who is going to have to step up. Again, I don't know what goes on behind the scenes, but we're going to continue to be in the same position until we are the ones who are throwing the punches.
Correct.
Because just think about it. If Trump had not won in 2016, in which they were not expecting him to win in 2016, we would be going on 12 years of Democrats running the country, and who knows where we would have been if Trump had not gotten in for those 4 years.
I got to roll, but great call. Appreciate it. Look forward to the next one, Aaron. Thank you. All right, 3 lines open, 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. Jerry and Garland, you'll be coming up next. I also want to add another thing into the fold. Some are saying Kamala is a DEI hire. Do you agree? We're going to get into that. And how do you think Republicans should attack her? That's up next on the Chris Crock Show on News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.